Hi, in this video I'm going to go through practice problem from chapter 6, number 9. And so in this one I'm just looking to calculate variable versus fixed cost and then the operating cost per mile in terms of cents. So first I need to find what the fixed and variable costs are. So I'm going to try and organize my table into fixed versus variable. So first, depreciation will be a fixed cost. Okay, that will happen every year. The current year's loan interest, that's a fixed cost. Insurance is a fixed cost. Average gasoline price will be a variable cost. Okay, and it's per gallon, so we're gonna need that later. Parking and tolls, $420. That's a variable cost. Annual mileage, that will go into paying for gas, which will go as a variable cost. So I'm going to move this over. So annual mileage counts as a variable cost, and miles per gallon counts as a variable cost. That'll all go into paying for gas, which we'll come back to in a little bit. License and registration fees will be a fixed cost, so that goes back in blue. And then oil changes and repairs will count as a variable cost. Okay, so that will be yellow. All right. Okay, so coming back over here to calculate our total variable and total fixed costs, we're just going to add up the different colors. So I'll add up the blue first as our fixed cost. Okay, so for fixed costs, I'm adding up our depreciation. All right, and that is $2,500. Adding that to loan interest, right? And that is $650. I'm adding that to insurance, all right, which was $680. And my license and registration fees, which is $65. Okay, so license and fees, which is $65. All right, so the total of that comes to $3,895. All right, so this becomes our total fixed cost. So $3,895 is what I'd put up here. All right. For variable costs, it's a little bit more work. All right, so variable costs, I have to be a little more careful. So my oil changes and repairs and my parking and tolls. So parking and tolls, that was $420, and my oil changes and repairs was $370. All right, so we'll add those together, but I also have to add in gasoline. All right, so how do I get that value? So it's going to come out to, we have to figure out of our annual mileage, so that 13,200. All right, that's my annual mileage, but I get 24 miles to the gallon, so I divide by the 24, and then multiply by the price per gallon, which was $3.50. Okay, and this gives me the average amount that I'm going to pay for gasoline per year. So that's $19.25. Okay, so again, to get this number, I take my annual mileage, right? So annual mileage, I'm dividing by my miles per gallon, right? And multiply by the price per gallon. All right, and that will give me the amount that I have to spend per year. All right, so adding the 1925 to 370 and 420, that gives me 2,715. Okay, all right, so that 2715 is what goes up here. All right, so 2715. All right, so that gives us per day. We found variable and fixed costs. Now, to get operating cost per mile, we need to find what the total cost is, and we're going to divide by mileage. Okay, so total cost is going to be variable plus fixed cost. All right. And so that equals, our variable cost was 3895, or sorry, our variable cost was 2715. And our fixed cost was the 3895. And that together is going to give us 6,610. All right, so that's our total cost, and we want to take total cost and divide by our total mileage. Okay, so cost divided by the miles will give me my operating cost per mile. So operating cost per mile, and that, when we do 6,610 divided by 13,200, all right, we're going to get about 0.501. But remember, and this is where you want to make sure you're careful and read the question, this is in terms of dollars, but the question is asking in terms of cents. So your answer would be 50.1 cents. All right, so you want to just be careful that this is your answer. Read the problem. All right. Thank you for listening once again.